One of the most important things sellers should understand is that some of the most impactful decisions are made before the home ever actually hits the market. And a few early mistakes can actually be very difficult to undo later. The first is not properly preparing the home for photos. Today, the first showing doesn't happen in person. It happens online. Buyers form an opinion within seconds of seeing a listing, and once that impression is created, it's actually really hard to change. If photos go live before the home is properly prepared, cleaned up, or positioned correctly, buyers don't always come back to take a second look, even if changes are made later. That initial perception sticks, which is why preparation before photography matters far more than sellers realize. Another common mistake is pricing the property too high at the start. Overpricing just doesn't affect showings. It can signal to buyers that the seller may not be serious about selling. In some cases, if a home or unit is priced far above competing properties, buyers won't even really click into the listing to look at the photos. Even when a home has meaningful upgrades, pricing too far outside of the competitive range can prevent those buyers from ever seeing those details in the first place. The third area where sellers often lose leverage is how they handle early offers. Sometimes the first offer ends up being the best opportunity, not because it's perfect, but because it opens the door to a conversation. Even if an offer comes in lower than expected, submitting a counter keeps the momentum and conversation alive. Once a buyer moves on or the seller disengages too quickly, it's uncommon for that buyer to circle back around for a second look or second offer. The common thread here is that early decisions shape the entire trajectory of a listing. Preparation, pricing, and how initial interest is handled all influence what happens next. Getting those pieces right from the beginning often creates flexibility later. Getting them wrong often limits your options overall.